Extension 2 students, let's quickly check that you know how to prove irrationality in case it comes up in your exam. This one's from 2020 and the average mark was 1.8 out of 3, so not everyone got it right. We want to prove that for any integer n greater than 1, log base n of n plus 1 is irrational. Okay, almost every time, irrationality proofs are going to be done with a proof by contradiction. So we're going to start off by assuming the opposite of this, and we're going to say, well, what if this thing is rational? If you want to show that something's rational, it means you can write it as a fraction using whole numbers. So the way we write that is we're going to say there exist two numbers, a and b, two whole numbers, a and b, such that log base n of n plus 1 is equal to a over b. I also like to mention that a and b are co-prime, which means that this fraction is already simplified. Co-prime means they have no common factors. And now the goal for 3 marks is to explain why this makes no sense. So we're going to take that expression and what we're going to do is we're going to transform it into an exponential equation. So the way we do that is by writing n to the power of a over b is equal to n plus 1. So just translating our log equation into an exponential equation. Now to make it a bit easier to work with, we're going to take both sides and do the power of b, because on the left-hand side, these two powers are going to multiply and the b's will cancel out, leaving me with n to the power of a equals n plus 1 to the power of b. Okay, now the goal is to explain why this makes no sense. The quickest and easiest way to do that is to think about odd and even numbers. Let's say on the left-hand side, n was an even number. A power of an even number is going to give you an even result. Now, if n is even, logically, n plus 1 is the next number, so that's going to be odd. And on the right-hand side, we have a power of an odd number, which is always odd. And we can't have an even number equal to an odd number, so it doesn't really make sense. So our argument is, if n is odd, the left-hand side is always odd, and the right-hand side is always even. Vice versa, if the left-hand side is even, well, if n is even, left-hand side is always even, right-hand side is always odd. So this means this equation can never make sense. So we have a contradiction, and that's because our original assumption of this thing being rational was false. Therefore, we have proven that the logarithm is irrational by contradiction, and there's 3 marks for HSC. Okay, if this comes up, now you'll be ready. Best of luck with your exam. It's coming in soon.